Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Nintendo Review Podcast. It's been a busy week as usual. How's it been personally for you guys? Are you alright, Greg?
Yeah, really good. Really enjoying my games at the minute.
Ah, good to hear. Makes a refreshing change. Lee, how you doing?
Does.
I'm good, as usual. We've had rain, which sounds like it's terrible, but it's always a good thing. Bit of rain, and I was going to talk about some cultural differences in Taiwan, but I'll keep that for another day. Let's keep it short.
Or a new podcast. Awesome, but we've got a lot to talk about as per usual, so we're going to go straight in with the news. Now, obviously, the biggest news of the week that everybody's been talking about, and we need to cover it. So, Taiko Drum Master is getting a physical release, and the drum is coming to the West. I don't know why I'm so excited about it, because it's the same. I've got it already, and it's the same playlist, and I've even got the English patch. But it is good news, guys. How do you feel about this? And is it, changed your mind? Are you going to get it? How are you feeling about it?
There's probably more chance of me getting it now that when I know the drum and stuff's coming. So, good news.
It's essential, isn't it? If there's no drum, like you said, with the playing with the Joy-Cons themselves are a bit problematic, and there's no sensitivity setting changing available. That drum is needed, so I'm very glad that it's coming to Europe.
I will say, is there any room for DLC? Is there any new music tracks coming or anything? Or
there already is, yeah. There already are. So there's a Gundam song available now, and any day now, if not already. I need to look into this because I really want it. They've got a Studio Ghibli DLC pack. It's a few quid. It seems pretty cheap. So yeah, there's absolutely room for they're doing it. So let's hope they're going to release loads more Nintendo tracks and maybe even some Western songs as well. But yeah, so that's exciting as well.
Sounds
but yeah,
good.
Great news. And yeah, we didn't chat about it last week. We made some predictions. We was all wrong, as per usual. But the Smash Direct happened, and it was incredible, actually. It was a lot better than I reckon everybody anticipated. They released so much stuff. It was infinitely more exciting than E3, in my opinion. We saw Simon Belmont and King K. Rool. We saw some more Echo Fighters, new stages, 103 stages, 900 songs. There was just so much to talk about. Everybody knows it. There's no point going in too much detail. But what I want to know is, Greg, just kind of what were your thoughts on it, and what about what they announced was the most exciting thing for you?
To be honest, I was almost overwhelmed by it. I couldn't believe how much stuff they were showing. I wasn't expecting them to see as much as that, and as you say, the amount of stages and stuff, and 28 hours of music and stuff, 34 Castlevania tracks. That's absolutely crazy. Loved the bit at the end with the King K. Rool reveal.
It was amazing.
That was a nice troll.
Yeah, because they went through all the you could see the heroes against the villains, all these wee transitions between them, and then you're sort of wondering, right, it's obviously going to be a villain coming up here, but who's it going to be? And then they show Donkey Kong, you immediately finally K. Rool's coming, and then to throw in DDD like that is just it was funny. You still knew K. Rool was coming after that, but I loved what they done there.
Yeah,
so that was possibly my favourite bit, or even the very start, with Castlevania and obviously the death of Luigi. But that whole trailer sequence, I thought that was fantastic.
They're always amazing, aren't they? Then, but in terms of getting the game, what was the element of it that you're excited to either play or experience?
I just feel with the Switch in general, I find that I'm playing a lot more games online than I ever have in the past, and I just think I'm going to really get into this Smash because of that. So basically just the online multiplayer is the big attraction for me, but I think the thing that's going to interest me the most hasn't been revealed yet because they had it blurred out on the menu. I think
the single player
campaign. I think there's going to be something interesting there.
Did you see what happened from a Japanese version? In the Japanese E3 Direct, they skipped one frame of that. They didn't blur out just one frame. Somebody has obviously taken the still at the right time, and they know what that mode is called. At least they don't know what it is, but they know what it's called. Do you want me to spoil it?
Yeah, the spirits.
That's right. Yeah.
It's playing a single player game.
Yeah, which links into that death of Luigi and his spirit floating around everywhere.
And Mega Man and Mario from the Ridley's
Yeah.
reveal and stuff. So
They're all gonna die.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when I was sort of watching that bit there with like Dracula and stuff, it almost seemed like sort of boss fights for maybe for the single player mode or something. Like, I know you can see him and like he'll appear in some multiplayer matches. They don't specify how he's going to appear or when. But when I was watching all that, I sort of thought, I'm wondering if there's going to be like a big Castlevania style castle that you sort of explore.
Yeah, the way he came in walking upstairs and all that. Yeah, I quite agree. He's a boss basically. Just like the Rathalos was mentioned, this is going to be a boss. And there seemed to be some sort of Monster Hunter stage, which isn't even in the stages of the normal game. As for the Direct itself, the thing that interested me most was the Simon Belmont reveal. Obviously, I had it spoiled for me through Twitter, and I knew it was Simon Belmont, but the way they built it up and all that, especially, as his whip came flying out and shattered the jawbone of the Grim Reaper himself, a fantastic reveal. When, you two, did you know that was Simon Belmont and Castlevania was included?
Almost instantly, to be honest.
When he was...
As soon as almost within seconds, just because I thought he was going to be in it anyway, and as soon as it was Luigi in the castle and stuff, I was like, it's got to be.
Yeah, obviously, like you and me, neither of us knew who the character was because we hadn't seen the reveal beforehand. But yeah, within a few seconds, you sort of knew.
But amazing. But it is.
It was amazing. Even though there's no big surprise, absolutely amazing character to put in.
Yeah, and also because you never know. Although straight away I was like Simon Belmont, you still never quite know until it actually is revealed while you're watching it. So it's still a bit, and it was an amazing reveal, and it's an amazing design. It's the best version of him. So it's he always nails it, doesn't he? Everything he does is just perfect. Sakurai. I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is it's actually a mode I asked for. I don't know if you remember I don't know if I mentioned it last time, or was the mode from the Smash Tour on the Wii U, when I was on about, like, basically as you go through it, you collect characters, and then at the very end, everybody fights with all the characters they've collected, and when one dies, you get the next one. And I said that bit, I mean, the bit to get the characters is awful, but the ending it was incredible, and they've brought that in, where you can have like 3 and 5 kind of fighter teams.
Oh, the 5-on-5 and the 3-on-3 and all that.
Yeah,
and
Squad Strike.
Squad Strike, yeah, that does look fun.
Yeah, that looks amazing. And the I can't remember what it's called now. The one where all the characters disappear once you've used once, they've gone.
Smashdown.
Smashdown. That's it. Yeah. So basically all the new modes, even having like chargeable smash meters, and I think it's just all the new little additions and other alternatives to play the game. The game is about variety, and we've got the characters, certainly got the levels, but they're even bringing that variety into the kind of modes as well, and I'm really excited about it. Really excited. So I'm sure, there's still, Greg said that the two things you're most excited about was the online and the single player, and they're the two things they never chatted about in that E3. So they've still got so much to talk about. It's very, very exciting.
I kind of liked all the wee tweaks and stuff that they've made, like even like I never really was a fan of like the Smash Ball, so the fact that you can have a mode where you can like by fighting you can build up your own smash meter. I really like that, and just all the other wee things like the changes to like what's the mode called where you've got just like an HP meter?
Stamina mode.
Endurance, is it? Or stamina? That's it.
Stamina
that's
battle.
Like a standard mode and
Stamina
stuff.
battle.
Yeah. Just all those wee tweaks. Like everything just seems to be for the better.
Yeah, and even just things like the fact that you can create your own sort of rule loadout, so you can create, like a stock match with various rules, and you can create your own rule sets rather than changing it every time you go in. It's just great. It's just great, and
the amount of customization means this game will last for years and years and years, and that's without DLC if they ever bring that across. I mean, customization's fantastic. Other little things that I loved was Shovel Knight. Come on, you gotta love Shovel Knight being in it, and the Majora's Mask Moon. That looks so outrageously crazy. It's even more powerful than a Smash Ball by the looks of it. It's amazing.
yeah, it does look good. All of it. There's nothing about it that I'm disappointed in so far.
Yeah. What about the amiibo situation? Are you picking up anymore?
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm kind of finding myself intrigued by. Obviously, there's going to be a King K. Rool one, so I almost want to get him plus Donkey and Diddy just so I can have them as a wee set, just sitting on the table here somewhere.
We're not tempted by Simon Belmont.
If you start going down that road, you're going to end up picking them all up at some point.
Join us.
It's just like I love the Donkey Kong Country games growing up, so just having that wee collection just set somewhere would be nice.
Well, I can't wait for more amiibo. Anyway, let's move on from Smash. I mean, it's been exhausted to death. I'm sure everyone's bored of it, hearing about it. But I'm very excited. It sounds like we all are. There's loads of good news this week, so let's keep it going. So it's a QuakeCon. You know, they announced Quake Eternal, the sequel to Doom Eternal, the sequel to Doom, and at E3, and said that they're going to release the first footage at QuakeCon, which happens in August, and they did it, and they've announced a Switch version done by Panic Button again. They're going to aim for, it sounds like exactly the same as Doom, 30 frames per second. I'm sure it'll be a flawless version of it, relatively. And this is amazing news. I kind of expected it, in all honesty. I'd have been surprised if it wasn't, but it's still great to hear. Now they're aiming for day and date with the other versions. I think it's going to be a great test to see how well Switch games, like, you know, these third parties can fare. Because is it the first time that a big third-party game has actually gone up against the other versions at the same time?
It must be, yes.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Did LA Noire come out at the same time? Although obviously it was a game that came out.
Yeah,
on
it did.
previous systems,
It did, actually.
But the remaster
Yeah,
came out all
yeah.
at the same time.
Good call, Greg.
We all liked Doom. Some of us more than others, Greg. But even you still really liked it. Are you excited about this?
While I kind of did like Doom, and I found it better after the update, I don't feel like I'm itching for more of it. And what little I've seen of this so far, it's like pretty much more of the same. Obviously, there are a few new additions to it and new moves and new weapons and whatever, but I'm not really hungry to jump back into it.
So you might wait.
Might
not get it straight away.
There's a possibility I might not get it ever, but
Okay,
I
fair
can't.
fair enough.
I'll not be pre-ordering it anyway.
Lee, I presume you are giddy about this.
Completely opposite, yeah. I'm overwhelmed by the support that Bethesda have endowed the Switch with. I can't wait to jump back in the Doomslayer's shoes. After playing Wolfenstein 2 and being slightly disappointed with it in terms of its muddy visuals on the handheld, Doom looks, I don't know why, but Doom did look better on the handheld than Wolf 2 has. And some other gameplay elements, the story wasn't as intriguing as I thought. And going back to and thinking about Doom and actually playing one level through Doom, I want more of that, you know, that frenzied attacking. And this looks like it's taken it to volume 11, as Spinal Tap would say. Extra armor, you got a hand-mounted sword which can chop, you got a shoulder-mounted flamethrower, you have new a meat hook, they call it, which can shoot enemies from afar and pull you to them in a kind of grappling hook manner. So everything's been speeded up. If it wasn't fast enough before, it's going to get faster, more frantic, far more enemies. And right at the end of the kind of initial opening trailer, they showed you holding this fat lightsaber, which I can't wait to get my hands on.
So yeah, very excited. Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait. I still need to pick up Wolfenstein 2 though, and even though you're a bit negative about it, and Greg, you're struggling along with it as well, aren't you? So it's not the greatest reviews from you guys, but I'll still pick it up at some point.
It's a great game. It is a great game. It's just not as good as Doom.
That's fair enough. So on a similar vein, and this actually just happened this morning. So that's about new games. So THQ Nordic have acquired the licenses to Time Splitters and Second Sight. Two GameCube, well, there's obviously in a lot of consoles, but GameCube, which I'm sure we all played those games on. I think this is really exciting news. Whether it's, whether they re-release old ones like Time Splitters 2, the classic, or more than that, likely they'll do a new one. Greg, you played a bit of Time Splitters on the GameCube. Surely you're excited.
Don't seem too surprised with the answer because we already discussed this a wee bit in Discord this morning.
5 minutes ago.
Obviously, like Time Splitters 2 was like kind of in many ways like the spiritual sequel to GoldenEye, and obviously had a lot of the same staff that worked on it. And I really enjoyed it on the GameCube back at the time. I never really got into Future Perfect, but my time with Time Splitters has kind of been and gone. Like anytime I've sort of tried to jump back into Time Splitters 2 just to do even like a couple of challenges or go through the campaign again, I can't get into it again, and I think I just sort of lost interest in that franchise completely. And I even had Second Sight as well for a little bit, and I probably only played it for about 15 minutes. Never got into it either. So
you're not particularly excited about it?
Not really. I mean, they probably could do some really cool stuff with all like the time travel stuff if they make like a new game or whatever, but I suppose we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you play old games, especially games like that, which there's been so many first-person shooters since then, and the kind of genres evolved so much. You go back and, I mean, you'll probably disagree, but go back and play GoldenEye, and it feels like you're playing a relic from the, that hasn't held up particularly well either. I know you're going to disagree with me. So the fact that, I mean, I love Time Splitters, I played it a lot, but I reckon if I went back, I probably wouldn't like it, but I'd feel as if a new version of that, with the same sort of quirky sort of style, and
with modern sensibilities.
Yeah, I think, like you say, we'll see what it ends up being. Even if they do anything, they may buy it and then not do anything with it, but we'll see. Did you play any of them, Lee?
Yeah, both of them. I've never been back to either of them, but loved them both as well. I mean, you've talked a lot about Time Splitters. What about Second Sight? Did any of you like Second Sight? Because I loved it at the time. There's the potential for using Joy-Cons and motion. You could basically move your character in one direction, and you could, like, he had telekinesis powers, so you're kind of lifting objects up with like a Jedi, basically, and then pushing the C stick across. But you could do that with the second joystick in motion-based gestures. And as long as it's implemented well, they could really make a good game out of that. And I would be well excited for that.
Yeah, almost like even like Breath of the Wild telekinesis, how that controls or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, I was less keen on Second Sight. I played it a little bit later, I think, and I think I was just, I don't know, I thought it was good, but Time Splitters 2, I played a lot of multiplayer on that. But like we said, there's not many of those games on the Switch, so I always welcome them. And Paladins is the only one I can think of, like a multiplayer first-person shooting game. Is there any others? Obviously, Doom has the mode, but I mean, like, more focused. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just thought I'd throw that in anyway, because it's always good to have the potential for new games on the Switch. We're going to talk about our new favourite... Well, not our new favourite. Something we chat about every single week. We're desperate to learn more. We don't seem to learn more. Nintendo keep releasing information, and we don't seem to know any more than we knew before. So Nintendo... The new Switch Online is coming very soon. They've confirmed it's in the second half of September. We are mid-August now. We're like 6 weeks away tops from this coming out. And they give an update on the release, and they still can't give us a date, and they just say second half of September. It's like, what is going on? It's surreal. And then they released a screenshot of Super Mario Bros. 3, so we've still got no idea what's going on. They sort of say stuff, but it's like, yeah, we know all this. They announced like what's coming. It's coming in the second half of September. You get to have cloud saves and play online, and it's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, you're regurgitating it over and over and over again as if it's new news. That's a thing. It's not as if they're saying, oh, I know you know this, but no, they're saying as if, hey, you didn't know this. No. It's like your grandmother, going, oh, you want jam? No, Gran, I don't like jam.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, the way they've gone about the Switch Online. Ultimately, I still feel as if the fear is that this is it. I mean, they keep telling us the same things because there is no more information. This is it. I think at least they could have showed us a different game that we didn't know yet, revealed one more of the 10 that we don't know about, or shown us how, is there the games, is there a hub, is there a little NES hub or something like that? I don't know, showed us something. But they showed us Mario Brothers 3, they said, we get to play it online, but they didn't say what. But I'm guessing just take it in turns online. Will any of you take it in turns online with Super Mario Brothers 3?
Will you take it in turns with us online? I'll be up for it.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Give it a try,
we could do a video on it.
I haven't played Super Mario Bros. 3 in quite a while. I don't actually think I've ever played the NES version of it. I've only ever played the All-Stars version of it.
Does not surprise me.
So, I don't know, it'll probably be worth going through it again, but I never liked it as much as Super Mario World.
Same, yeah.
I imagine that's because I played it after Mario World.
What did you think of the black borders? You know the picture they showed? I know you've got a black borders because it's got to be in the 4.3. Those black borders seem large. I don't know. Maybe it's me grumbling.
I am sure you'll probably be able to stretch them. You Neanderthal.
I don't want stretch.
Yeah, I'm always a bit fussy with borders and stuff. I kind of like my whole screen taken up.
Yeah, same here.
But obviously that's going to stretch the image like really badly. So I know it would be nice if there's some options at least.
Would it be too much work for a company to come in and just extend? I mean, like really extend, so it's a wide screen. So they just stretch not stretch the image, but stretch it out so we can see further of the level to fit it onto the screen. That would be my ideal thing.
I think
but
it would be.
I suppose that would be a lot of work.
It would be too much work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I've got no idea, but I'm just sort of thinking logically, but I've got no idea. But it could be even a case of like, you know, the game works out how big the screen is, so it knows when to drop the enemy, the kind of graphics in, or the next enemy in, or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's never happening. Never happening. But I still want to know what the other 10 are. I'm more excited about the co-op games, like, even though it's not, I am being serious, but like tennis or soccer or something like that, being able to play them online appeals to me.
You'll never touch Mario Aces again.
I'm sure. I am sure. But anyway, yeah, it's coming. They showed us a screenshot. They're still infuriating about it. Couple of new dates, finally. We've known Undertale and Dark Souls are coming. Dark Souls has been delayed seemingly twice. You know, originally it's meant to come out in May, then they said the summer. Now it's coming out October the 19th. That is definitely not the summer, so that is 2 delays that game's had. Again, like what we were saying before about Doom Eternal launching along with it, it's a big shame Dark Souls didn't. Do you fear for it? Do you think it's going to sell well in October, or do you think...
I really fear for it, because I don't think it even done that well on PS4 and Xbox. I think I seen that this morning. And
is it because they're waiting for the Switch version?
Hopefully, but like you imagine there'll be a lot of people that I'm not going to wait for the Switch version, I'll just pick up one of the other versions now. But then the fact that it's coming out in October, and that's when like all the big hitters are coming, like I think it's going to be a really hard sale now.
And if it did come out in the summer, I think I would have already bought it, you know. It was that slight lull in the summer, I probably would have picked it up. Now it's coming out in October, I can't see myself picking it up. Not initially, anyway.
Well, there's nothing on the Switch coming out, really, so you're fine.
Backlog. That summer sale has added another 8 games to my Switch, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. And obviously Undertale was the other game. We knew that was coming, but they never actually gave a solid date on that. But now it's coming out in September, and I didn't realise it was getting a physical edition, and it's getting a really nice looking collector's edition with it as well. So this is a game I'm very excited about. I've bought Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U. Never played any of them. Obviously heard all about Earthbound 3, and they appeal to me a lot, and obviously this is meant to be sort of heavily inspired by it. It's meant to be incredible. I'm very excited about it. At least we've got something to play in September now on the Switch. Are any of you going to pick it up?
Maybe. I loved Earthbound when I played it for the first time on the Wii U, and this does look like it would fill that hole. Depends. One, depends how much it is, my wallet and all that, and depends about my backlog, but it's another one, I think, which I will push down the line. It'll have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What about you, Greg?
I can't really see myself going for it either. Like you, I bought Earthbound on the Wii U, like pretty much as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Because I almost felt like I had to buy it, like out of like a duty, because I've never played it before, and it's like they finally re-released it here. So I played it for probably about half an hour at most. I just could never really get into it, and the thought of going back to the Wii U now, I don't think I'm ever going to play it there. I thought about downloading it on the 3DS, but again, I probably just won't play it, because like as I've said before, RPGs are just those ones that always seem to get left on the backlog, and they're the hardest ones to get into because you sort of know they're going to take quite a while to complete. So I can't imagine I want to add Undertale to the pile.
But it's good that it's here. It's meant to be incredible. So so that's great to see. We'll see. And the final bit of news is Nintendo have announced how many kind of units of hardware they've sold in their lifetime, and it's 727 million. Actually, closer to 728 million. So that is a lot. You know, that is a hell of a lot. It's kind of more than I expected it to be, but it's broken down at obviously just over 400 million in handhelds and 300 million in home consoles. That kind of split doesn't surprise me at all. But 700. When will we see the billionth console sold from Nintendo? Do you think? What's your prediction? Sweepstake now. What are we on? 300.
So what are we? 300 million. So we're about 2/3 of the way there. how long have they been selling them for? 20, 30 years, another 10 years. Yeah? Another.
So your prediction, 2028 is a billionth console.
Maybe that's a bit too early.
I don't know. It's like the time's sort of ticking this here, because you imagine we're sort of getting away from the time where consoles are going to be a thing.
Yeah, maybe they'll never sell it.
Although, having said that, I can kind of see Nintendo releasing things after everyone else sort of moves on to something else. I think Nintendo might be the ones to sort of stick around and keep releasing like quirky things.
I wonder if the SNES and NES Mini count.
I should imagine so. They're a console, they're systems that play games. Yeah. I wonder if they have added them yet.
I don't know when this was up to. Was it the one that was up to June?
Oh, yes.
Was it part of the old one? So yeah, it would have been. But it's a lot of consoles. Well done, Nintendo. Let's keep it going. So that's it for the news. Let's hear about what you guys have been playing. So Lee, I understand you've not been playing full games, but you've been trying a lot of games out. So tell us the good and the bad of the demos on the Switch.
And I've been playing quite a lot of demos as well. I've had a quite a weird week, where I've needed to slot little bits in now and then. So I'm gonna time myself here, boys. I'm gonna press my beeper. Can you hear this? Anyway, I press my beeper. I'm ready to go. And when my beeper goes off, that's I've been talking for long enough. Otherwise, I could go on a bit too long.
Well, how long did you set it for? That's the important question.
Oh, an hour? No. 8 minutes. And now I got 7:42. Fine. Let's go.
Go.
First demo I did was Uno, and you talked about and you bigged that up last week, Darren. But wow, it's wonderful little card game, great presentation. It's a good version of Uno. The only thing which was a bit disappointing about the demo is that you could only play 3 single player games only, so you had no online access or anything. And then once your 3 games are up, which took literally 15 minutes at the tops, that's it, you're locked out. But if you're on the fence about Uno, I'd say download the demo. It was on sale, it's not on sale now. It plays really well. How did the online go for you, Darren?
The first when I was playing randoms, it was absolutely fine. And then I tried when I was playing with someone on our Discord channel. The first night we tried playing it, mine kept crashing every time we got into a room, so it went disastrously. But then we played it again after that, and it was absolutely perfect. It's really good. You can change every single mode.
Yeah,
you can
great.
play against the computer. You can get into a lobby with 2 of you as 2 friends, and then you can just keep the lobby open. So then you're playing against the computer. Then any random person could just drop in, even mid game. So it's not as if you have to wait at the end of a game or anything. They can just drop in. It's really good. It's £4 or whatever I got it for. Bargain.
Yeah, if you play for half hour, I think it's worth it. The other one, because that was a Ubisoft game, I played another Ubisoft demo, Monopoly. And this kind of demo it's Monopoly basically, it's Monopoly, but with every mode was unlocked. So it's the complete opposite of Uno, where everything's locked and you get 3 single player modes. This is, you can pretty much do anything bar play online, but you had a 30-minute time demo. So we played with my family, my wife, my son and me. We playing as fast as we can. And when Monopoly first came out, there were a lot of bugs and people saying, "Oh, this doesn't work." I saw nothing. It all runs smoothly. The narrator over the top who's going, "Hey, nice throw." He seems nice guy, he doesn't come across as annoying. You might get tired of him because he does repeat things now and again. But it's another good, solid version of Monopoly. A little bit pricey though. They're asking $29.99 for it on the eShop. But the boards are less dynamic than I would want, but they are dynamic. The way that it moves around. You can pull up a map so you can see where everybody is at the same time. When you buy a property, then that kind of opens up into a dynamic situation of the property being built. It is another nice game if you don't want to crack Monopoly out, the real board game. This could be, when it comes down in price, a good version of it to get. And is online.
And it's online, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Up to, I believe it was 6 players. 6 players online.
Cool. What's next?
Yeah, Forma 8. This was a Wii U game, which is slow-paced, very relaxing, 2D scrolling, atmospheric space probe shooter. It's like a shooter puzzler. Less shooting, more puzzler. So you guide yourself through these environments, and first of all, I was having flashbacks of that galaxy that I didn't like. Fortunately, it plays nothing like it. You point in the direction you want to go, and you go there. The controls are spot on. You pick up weapons in the demo that allow like a localized blast radius, which will kill things very near you. Or you can drop a bomb and drive away, and then it blows up. Or you can link them both together by dropping a bomb, creating a blast energy, and shooting that bomb towards an enemy who's further away. It worked really, really well, and if this comes down in price a little bit, it's cheap enough anyway, but if it does come down in price, this is on my watch list now. Very well impressed with that. Did any of you play Former 8 on Wii U?
Nope.
I think I played the demo on the Switch, but I can't remember. Ages when it first came out, I can't remember now. It's ringing a bell, so I think I played the demo.
It's been a while, yeah. Now a negative one. Hey, 3 positives, now a negative. Violet.
Greg perks up.
Don't buy this one, Greg. Violet. It's a point-and-click adventure, and it starts off really, really well. The opening cinematic is very highly stylized in a kind of Tim Burton-esque way. This teenage girl is told off by her parents. She goes up to her bedroom pouting. She finds a glowing amulet in a mouse hole in her bedroom. She's moved this is a new house. And it transports her to another dimension. It's like, oh, this looks good. And then the game starts. And that's when the mess starts. The puzzles are so convoluted. Even when you press the kind of hint button, which is the X, to reveal environmental pointers telling you, oh, you can interact here, you can interact here. The puzzles are so messed up and so centrically solved. You know, you have to do this, then this, then this. You do any out of order, it doesn't work, even though in common sense would tell you it would. It's infuriating. It was £2.50 in the sale. Don't bother. Next one, which back to the top. This is probably the best demo I played, and it's Yoko's Island Express. It's that controlling a beetle that's pushing a white ball on a postal delivery job around an island, and it's a Metroidvania with pinball. You can't well, first of all, the visuals are beautiful. They got this like sprayed watercolor look, but also slight realism to them. Everything flows beautifully. Your movement when you're moving left and right is quick and accurate. Then you get to these flippers, and you just like in a pinball game, ZL and ZR, pop your flippers up, and you're doing little things in localized areas, hitting targets, collecting fruit. If you haven't played this demo, it's very short, only takes about 10 minutes to finish it, but it's beautiful. I really, if you're not into this type of game, I'd still say check the demo out. After hearing people talk about it, I was kind of like, oh, I was interested, now I'm not. After playing it, it's completely changed my perspective again. I'll be picking this up, not soon, but I will pick this up. Anybody tried this
same,
out?
I played it.
Yeah.
Amazing game. It's amazing. I'm definitely going to get it, yeah.
You just played the demo.
Sounds like I need to give it a go, yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's really good.
There's some lovely little sections where you've got to open doors up, and by opening doors up, you drop into a pinball area, and you got to hit certain panels to basically unlock. And that's my 8 minutes, boys. I'm going to do one more to finish off. And it was...
If you're just going to ignore the timer, what's the point?
That was my warning, that's all. I got one more good one. Metropolis Lux Obscura. Have you heard about this one?
Is that the visual novel?
Yes, that's right. It's like Sin City. It's a Sin City style comic with full gritty voice acting. I mean, you know, the voice
and
actors.
naked ladies.
And there's lots of naked ladies. You have lots of trips to strip clubs and stuff like that. And that's only in a 10-minute demo. You know, the voice acting is exactly like you'd expect out of Bruce Willis going, it's raining, that kind of thing. You like my Bruce Willis impression?
I loved it. You should be a voiceover artist.
And then you fight. So you know, someone comes up, hey, who are you? You're that ex-convict. You've come out of jail. You killed one of my friends. I'm going to smack you one. Okay, I'll fight. And it turns into a Pokemon Shuffle game. It's like a match 3 puzzler. I was not expecting this at all. So you match symbols like boots to link 3 or more boots together, and you kick the enemy, three or more fists, and you punch them. Medkits will heal you. Angry faces will fill you with rage so you can hit harder, and it's quite a difficult match 3 puzzler as well. You really have to be on top of your game to hit that enemy down, or that drug dealer, or this is not for children, of course. But this is also on my radar now. I like it, Sin City. It apes Sin City right to its roots. Even apes the music in the movies, that chugging bass. Great stuff. That's definitely on my radar. Cool. Played a lot more, but I might talk about something at a later date.
Oh, really? So obviously, really, I've been on a demo blitz.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was Monopoly. I'm going to pick up Monopoly, the demo. I'm going to try that out. I didn't know that was there.
Make sure you do it with other people. Much more fun.
Yeah, that's not going to be possible. It's just not going to be possible. I'll be playing on my own. But so, Greg, tell us about the latest 3DS game you've been playing.
Well, we've all kind of been a wee bit disappointed with our games last week, and I'd sort of joked that we all need to be playing something better for this week, and I kind of feel like I've done that. I've been playing Severed on the 3DS. It was on sale there a few months ago, and I kind of had a wee bit of a choice to make, because it was on sale on the Switch and the Wii U and 3DS, and I was sort of, back then I was on another one of my little 3DS moments, and so I thought I'll go for the 3DS version, largely because of the controls, because in Severed most of it is done with the touch screen. So like if you're playing the Switch version, I think you can only play it in handheld mode, and the thought of using your finger to like do the attacks and stuff on the screen doesn't sound as intuitive as perhaps like the stylus would be in the 3DS. So I went for the 3DS version. Graphically, it's really nice. I suppose in some ways it's a wee bit like slightly cartoony, but like it's like a dark, like a more darker cartoon style.
When you say a little bit cartoony, you mean completely cartoony?
Well, yeah. Well, whenever you think of cartoon, you sort of think of like jolly sort of stuff. It's like really a dark setting. The story, maybe you'll be able to help me with this, Darren, because I know you downloaded the game recently and you started it the other day, I think.
Yeah, I went on the sale, the said sale. I actually got the right version, the Switch version. Yeah, and I'm about somewhere between a third and halfway through, I reckon. I think.
Yeah, because you see, I had started it a few months ago when I first downloaded it, and it was only about 40 minutes in. So actually, this time I resumed my save file, and I can't really remember what happens at the very start of it. So all I know at the minute is I've been looking around to find my Muller, my Fowler, and my brother. I think you play as this girl. I can't even remember what her name is. And even when I was starting with 40 minutes in, there's this like you have like a focus meter which builds up during a fight, and for a while I sort of couldn't figure out what it was for or how to use it. Basically, the way the combat works in the game is you have these enemies appear on screen. You'll be walking through the levels, I say levels. Everything's kind of sectioned off into rooms, and every time you walk forward, like you'll see doors either like in front, behind, left, or right in some of the rooms. And if you walk forward a wee bit, it transitions into the next room. Like you don't walk smoothly through the levels; it just transitions every time you move through a room. So sometimes
like Google Maps.
Yeah,
inside of Google Maps, you move from one image to the next.
Yep. I mean, it sounds a wee bit strange, but it works fine in this game here. And sometimes you'll see like this wee flame in the distance, and if you walk into that room with the flame in it, it's an enemy battle basically. And you'll start off, you'll maybe be fighting like one enemy in the room, and basically there'll be this wee meter at the bottom of the screen. It has the enemy's health in it, and also there's a wee bar that builds up, and whenever it's full, that's when an enemy's going to attack. So each of the enemies, like in sort of like a punch out sort of style, they'll give you like a tell of what attack they're going to do, and you have to like swipe the screen to defend it in like a very specific direction. I've been swiping the touchscreen quite a lot with the stylus, which is why I'm not sure it's going to work as well with the Switch version, because I've been really going to town with the stylus. But the combat really comes into its own whenever there's more than one enemy in a battle, because you sort of have to manage which order you take the enemies on in, because you'll see all of their meters will be displayed across the bottom of the screen, and you can flick between which one you're fighting at any given time. So you'll maybe be slashing away at somebody and you'll see somebody else is ready for attack, so you need to quickly tap on that enemy to turn yourself around to defend that attack while someone else is maybe getting ready to attack. So you're sort of like constantly flicking between the enemies, trying to find out the best strategy to take them all down before being overwhelmed, basically. And those fights only increase in difficulty throughout the game, because eventually, I'm not sure if you've got to this yet, but the enemies will become more difficult with buffs. Like they'll have like attack up, or like regenerating health or speed up, those sorts of things. And eventually you'll unlock an ability where you can actually steal those buffs from the enemies. So you sort of have to, sometimes you're in a situation where you'll go into a fight and within like 2 seconds maybe you're already beat. So you're sort of figuring out which would be the best person to steal an item from to make this fight a wee bit easier and more manageable. But yeah, it is really fun, and I've been really enjoying the battle system in it. It possibly does get slightly repetitive. I haven't quite finished it yet. I think I'm probably about 5 or 6 hours in, so probably getting towards the end of it. I think I mentioned this to you the other day, Darren. Even though it's only been like 6 hours or something, it's felt like quite a long 6 hours, and usually I sort of associate with that sort of thing with like games you're maybe not really enjoying that much, that it sort of feels like it's dragging on a wee bit. But like, so I can't really understand it, because I have really been having a good time with this here. The other thing with the game is there's some like puzzles and secrets, like you have to find ways to open doors and things, and they're never really particularly difficult. There's some interesting wee sections where you have to like ring bells to get people to carry keys different ways, but there's never anything I've struggled with. Some of the secrets are just a wee bit silly in some ways. Like you'll see on the map there's like a question mark in some of the rooms, and you'll go into it, and sometimes you just look around and you'll just see like a wee one of the bricks on the wall like shining. You just tap on it and it maybe like opens up a door or whatever. Nothing too challenging there. But it's a really good game. I definitely recommend it, and I probably didn't mention this here, which is one of the main things about the game, is in the combat. Once you defeat an enemy, once your focus meter is full, you get the option to, once the enemy's beat, you can slice off some of their limbs, and you use those parts to increase your own stats and abilities. So that's really fun. I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing I would say in the 3DS's favour, I'm not sure what way the map system works on the Switch version. I've always got the map on the top screen in the 3DS version, which makes it like really easy to navigate and see where you're going next. In fact, to the point where sometimes I'm almost exclusively looking at the top screen, just using the map to walk around, because it's easier. And I sort of imagine if the map's not there all the time, it's maybe easier to get lost.
Yeah. It's like I used to play Churrock like that. I used to just play watching the map randomly.
Yeah.
But it is constantly pressing the map to see where you are. And I was going to say, one of the bits that I found trickiest was navigating the dungeons and like what the best way, because you can open doors, and if you open one type of door, the sun door and the moon door, then it closes others, and that's the only bit that I was a bit like, where do I get? And I had to constantly look at the map and think which order do I need to open the doors, and which stairs do I need to go up and down, and that was like constantly pressing it, moving a bit, pressing it, moving. Yeah, so I can understand that being really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no issues with navigation whatsoever. But yeah, I'd said probably a couple of weeks ago now about how I found like DS games possibly more interesting than 3DS games, largely due to that I found a lot of the features of the DS was like they used like quirky features, gave us new and interesting ways to play that we'd never really seen before. And I sort of feel like Severed is pretty much exactly the sort of game I was looking for in 3DS. Like the combat's really fun. It's not something that could really be replicated using just like a D-pad and buttons or whatever. Like it's the swiping in specific directions is like intrinsic to the gameplay. So I really like it. Probably going to finish it today or tomorrow. But yeah, I definitely recommend it, especially if you can get it whenever it goes on sale again.
I may very well do. Yeah. Are the levels kind of set? Or are there like rogue-like elements in it where there's a bit of random generation?
Thankfully, there's absolutely no random generation.
Okay, so it's all prescribed.
Yeah, it's like levels is maybe like the wrong way to say it. It's like I hate sort of comparing things to like Metroid or whatever, but it's like you've got this world with like different areas in it, which you'll open up over time, and they sort of like connect to each other like eventually. So you'll have like locked doors or whatever, you can't go certain ways, or there'll be like set areas with like it's clouds basically, and if you walk out into it you fall straight through. Eventually you get the ability to walk through those areas, but it's all sort of linked together. You don't like just do like a level at a time as such.
No, it sounds intriguing. I like the sound of the combat as well. It sounds very rhythm game based as well, you know. It's got kind of a turn, block, attack, block, attack, that kind of thing. Sounds great.
Yeah, pretty much. It does get, like, some of the battles are pretty difficult. Most of them, I would say for the first couple of hours or so, it was really easy. Like, I knew the game had a sort of decent enough reputation, and I didn't think it was as good as everybody was saying, which I find with quite a lot of games. But the more I played it and the trickier the battles got, like, it really like improved over time, and like I'm really enjoying it at the minute.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm the same as you on the Switch version. At the very beginning, I was really loving it. I was liking it. I was enjoying it. It felt quite simple, and I was worried it was going to get really repetitive. But then, once the game opens up and your abilities open up and the enemies become more difficult, my love for it kind of grew and grew and grew. And I'm really loving it. I love the kind of the loop of, you know, kind of killing enemies, severing enemies, and then taking their kind of bodily parts and then upgrading. You know, I'm really enjoying that process. I mean, so I want to fight as many monsters as possible because I want pieces and parts, and I want to upgrade my character. I'm finding that really satisfying. As for the Switch version, obviously I've not played the 3DS version. I'm having no problem whatsoever with the touchscreen. It works flawlessly with my finger. It feels good. I don't feel like it would be better with a... So it might be, but I don't feel it. As I'm playing it, I'm not having any problems, and it feels great. It feels perfect. I can understand the map situation being quite helpful, but other than that, it feels perfect. The only thing I will say, and maybe the 3DS is better for this, is the Switch is heavier and bigger.
Yeah.
So holding it in one hand and then swiping with your finger, it's not that much of a negative, but it being a smaller, more manageable device may kind of be a little bit easier. One thing I wish it did have, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to take off a Joy-Con. You can't even take off one Joy-Con because you only need one stick. So you can't take off one.
I was actually going to suggest
it.
that to you whenever you said it was heavy. I thought you could probably just slip off the Joy-Con, but
no, it doesn't. Like, it just stops working. Well, what it should do, what would be great, because it's the movement controls are so simple, literally forwards and turn, and that is it. I'd wish there was like little buttons on the screen, like take off both Joy-Cons, touch screen only, let me move on with little buttons on the screen. That would be perfect. But it's a tiny niggle. But yeah, like you, I'm really loving it.
I imagine it probably looks really nice on the Switch as well.
Looks great, yeah, looks really nice.
Because even on the 3DS, it looks pretty decent. But I kind of think I probably made the right console choice there.
Fair enough. So before I talk about the game that I actually want to talk about, I do just want to mention very briefly a game called Gorogoa, I think it's called. I don't want to talk about this in one of the things because I just think it's one of those games that people just need to experience. And I tried explaining it to my girlfriend last night, and because I started it and finished it in one sitting yesterday. I tried explaining it to my girlfriend yesterday, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't quite explain what this game is. But all I will say is the game is absolutely incredible. And even though it only lasts 2 hours, and it costs, in the sale, I think I paid £8 for it. I think it's worth it. I think it's absolutely worth it. And I don't think whether you like puzzle games or, as what you said, great artistic games or anything like that, I would be gobsmacked. Anybody playing this game and not thinking it is brilliant. It's absolutely beautiful. The puzzles are incredible, and you will have played nothing like it.
Would you go and play it a second time, Darren? Would you play through it again?
Maybe in a couple of years or something like that, but not. There'd be no point straight away. I mean, the art is beautiful. It's sort of like a mix of still images and animation, and it is beautiful. But in all honesty, not.
Once you work the puzzle out, there's no. You remember the puzzle. You could fly through it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but even the story is is beautiful, beautifully told, and it's just amazing. It's perfect. I will say that it is perfect. There's nothing negative about it. It's just a beautiful story. The puzzles are brilliant. The art is amazing. Everything about it is perfect. So I would buy it. Anyway, that isn't what I wanted to talk about. The game I did want to talk about is called The Sexy Brutale. Now, this game, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's got a bit of a bad reputation because it's the way it performs on the Switch.
Yeah, very poorly.
It was meant to be very bad, and then they patched it in, and then the patch seemingly didn't fix it either. And I will say it does run terribly on the Switch,
God.
and it's such a simple game as well. It's so simple. It's like, why is this struggling? I've got no idea. It doesn't make any sense. This frame rate does stutter. It just stops for a few seconds for seemingly no reason, and it's just like spinning its little roulette reel, and you're like, I'm not quite sure why this is happening. And if you run through rooms very quickly, then it stutters and it's bad, and it does run like a dog. But I'm not that bothered about things like that. So it didn't bother me that much as I know some other people. It didn't bother me that much. But I will say that the game itself,
that needs it, is it? It's not as if it's a first-person shooter.
Exactly. Yes. I found it more funny than anything. Like, why is this struggling for such a simple game? It didn't bother me that much, but it does run terribly. So I thought I'd just throw that in. But just very quickly, the game it's set in a casino, the Sexy Brutale casino, sort of casino mansion hotel. You're not quite sure what it is. It's this very opulent, glamorous, huge sort of building, and you find out straight away that the staff of the people who work there are murdering the guests on this one day. That all the guests are being murdered, and you can travel through time, and you have to go. It's sort of like Majora's Mask in a sense. You have to keep going back at the beginning of the day and walking around the mansion and trying to stop each murder. So it's like each level, I guess, is one murder. Or a double murder, because sometimes there's two people who get killed, and you've got to stop it from happening. So it's not who done it. You know who does it, but all you've got to do is stop the murders happening. So it's sort of a puzzle game to an extent. But so you're in the mansion, and you have to go into rooms and listen to conversations and solve little puzzles and trying to stop each murder happening. You're not allowed in the same room as any of the guests. So you've got to peer through keyholes and listen to conversations through the doors and things like that to try and find out where people are. And obviously everybody runs through the same motions every day. They're exactly the same. So you keep going back in time, maybe go to a different area of the mansion to see if you can figure out what's going on or where the murder's taken place and how to stop it. The game does do a way of shrinking the level. So you know the area of the mansion. So it's not as if it's the whole mansion's opened up. It does open up in as you go through. So you sort of know the area that you need to be in to kind of solve it. And then you go through, and then so you solve each murder, but then there's a bigger plot of why it's happening, and the owner, it's called the Marquis of the whole casino, of why it's happening, what is he doing, who are the staff, and things like that. So that's kind of it. So it's sort of like a Groundhog Day style murder mystery game, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot, actually, and the story resolves itself in a very subtle but really nice way. It's kind of deeper and darker than I expected it to be, because it is quite silly, some of the murders. Like one of them gets eaten by a spider and things like that. So it's a bit sillier than I thought it was going to be and wanted it to be. But actually, it even explains that. It even explains why it's a little bit silly and a bit over the top in a very satisfying way from a plot point of view. And it's just really good. The puzzles themselves are simple enough, and in some of them, you can complete them in 10 minutes. Ultimately, if you go in the right room at the right time and see the right thing, you can solve it instantly. But there is a great joy, and I like this kind of thing of figuring things out, solving little mystery, little detective things of right, how do I solve this plot? And you kind of think you know what to do, but you need to listen to the right bit of information to hear what you need to do, or a passcode for a door, and you need to be in a specific spot. So I quite like replaying the day, going to a different area, following characters around to see where they go, what they do, and things like that. So, and it's just a really good, fun little game. It maybe took about I can't remember, 6 or 7 hours. It's quite short, but it's outside of the kind of technical issues, I think it's a great, a very, very original game.
You've actually really intrigued me here. Did either of you ever play Ghost Trick on the DS?
I've heard so many good things about it. No, I haven't. I would love to, though.
Yeah, the fact that you mentioned that things keep repeating there and you have to like prevent the murder happening, it just completely reminded me of Ghost Trick there, and it's one of my absolute favourite DS games, if not my favourite. It's certainly up there anyway. Yeah, in that game, like, you had to, I think you went to like a few seconds before a murder happened and you had to figure out how to prevent it from happening. So
you possess things in that, don't you?
Yeah, so that sort of element in this here sounds really intriguing.
Yeah, I'd actually say it's probably not as good as Ghost Trick. Ghost Trick is amazing, and it plays very differently, actually.
Ghost Trick is very puzzle orientated, isn't it? This Sexy Brutale sounds like Sim Stalker.
Yeah, it is, but in essence it is a puzzle game, though. It is a puzzle game. That you have to every murder you have to figure out what you need to do to stop it happening, and it's always a puzzle of sorts.
Oh, that's cool then.
It's great. It's worth it. If you can pick it up cheap, it's for me. As long as you won't get irritated by the technical kind of wreck that it is.
I don't think I'm generally as fussed about technical issues in games as a lot of people. In fact, like, even stuff when you go back to like GoldenEye and the N64 or like Bang.io on the DS, like whenever you're making it slow down, it's almost like you almost feel triumphant. It's like you're breaking the game in some way.
Yeah.
People used to buy controllers to make that happen, action replay slowdowns. You get it for free.
I think there's a difference between a very simple man walking into a room and it's slowing down, though, and Bang.io is insane bullet hell. So one you can understand, and one you just got bamboozled. Like, what is going on? Yeah, well worth it. I'd recommend it, and if it appeals to you, then give it a go. It's not much, and you won't play anything like it. And if you like your original games, then I think you'll like that. But so that's what we've been playing this week. We're gonna quickly answer a listener question. This week it comes from VilePlume2000 from our Discord server. Is it server? Discord server? Or Discord forum? Or Discord app?
Channel,
what is it?
Server.
Channel?
I think it's a server, isn't it? They do say, hey, come and join our server.
Is that what it is?
Server.
Anyway, from Discord. And he asked, do you wait? Very apt, actually, for what we've been talking about. Do you wait with picking up games because they will, one, get a discount later, and two, will have their issues patched out by then? So when you pick up games, what's your process? Do you pick them up straight away? Do you wait? And why do you wait? Greg?
Well, with Nintendo games specifically, generally just buy them pretty much straight away, because you'll know yourself, Nintendo games very rarely get a discount. They only really
until they get in the selects.
Yeah, and even then, like, I don't really like the packaging of like select titles. I prefer the original packaging. So
borders again.
But like stuff like if you're playing like Smash or Mario Kart or whatever, like you want to be involved whenever everybody else is sort of playing it. Whenever it's like that big boom, everybody's just got the game, everybody's excited, everybody's learning it together. So generally, I get those sorts of games at launch. But for lots of other stuff, like third-party titles or like indie titles in the eShop, whatever, I'm more than happy to wait for the price to come down, because generally I've got loads of games to play in the meantime anyway, so it's not like I'm desperate for a new title to play like every week or whatever. So there's no harm in waiting whatsoever.
That's fair enough. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, exactly the same. The only thing I got to add really is that the only time I'm slightly different with that is at the beginning of a console cycle. So you've got this new console, for example, the Switch, and here's my Switch. There's less games out in the beginning anyway. So you bought Zelda, and I bought and whatever else, Snipper Clips, and that's it. I've got 2 games. Well, I'm going to buy games, and I'm not going to wait. But as the games start flooding in and there's more to choose from, I start getting very selective then. Nintendo games first, big third-party games at the moment, things like Doom and all that, I'll buy straight away. And everything else, indie games mostly, I'll be waiting for a sale.
Yeah, I guess it's similar to you two. I'll always buy Nintendo games. I think the only difference is that if there's a game I really want to play, then I probably will buy it straight away. I've done that many times. But then I've also done that many times and not played it, and then a month or two later it's been in sale, and I've been like, really annoying.
Yeah.
Really, really annoying. Like the Mega Man games, for example. There's loads of them. I've done even that Dan Maku. Is it Dan Maku, the vertical shooter? I bought that at launch, £6 odd. I was like, this will never go on sale. And then, but then I decided to wait because I'm going to get the vertical grips. I hadn't even touched it, and now it's on sale for like £3 or £4. And I'm not bothered. It's only a couple of quid, but I've got a lot of games that I did buy straight away and regretted. But I think unless I really want to play it, I'm going to wait because pretty much every game, up our Nintendo games, every game is going to be on sale. Although Tiny Metal still hasn't been on sale, nor has what are the other games I want? The ones by the Tomorrow Corporation.
They did go on sale a while back, but the sale wasn't too hot,
Well, like 70p or something like that.
Yeah, there's a Little Inferno,
World of Goo, and it's the other Resource Machine, Human Resource Machine. Yeah, I want Human Resource Machine. But anyway, so yeah. But in terms of patches, we don't. I hear horror stories on like big third-party games that Switch doesn't get, so it doesn't really appeal to me too much. It doesn't affect me that much. It's not a factor in any way, shape, or form. Well, if I'm gonna wait, I'm never gonna wait for a game because of a patch that may come. That's never going to happen. Although, if I waited for Doom, I would have probably played a slightly better version of Doom. Yeah. Would you ever wait for a patch? Or no. If the game's broken and then it turns good, then I may get it because it's good all of a sudden. But I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be waiting for it then. Yeah. You wouldn't be on your radar until it gets good. I'm waiting for a patch actually for Wolf 2. And I want 100% Wolf. This one is a little bit annoying me, so I got to get it out there. In Wolfenstein 2, you can collect star cards, which are like baseball cards. You collect many in the game. I got one more star card to collect, and it's not where it should be. It's just not there. So I can't 100% the game. Infuriating. So, yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait for, if they went, this isn't, I knew about it before I bought it, I would have bought it anyway. But, yeah, patches, nah.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for that, Valplume. And now we have a new game from Greg.
Yep. Well, you know yourself. Last few weeks I've sort of been playing the 3DS quite a lot. You could almost say I'm a bit of a 3DS ambassador. So on that, do you both remember whenever the 3DS came out and everybody bought it at launch and then they reduced the price and Nintendo brought the 3DS ambassador scheme out where they gave us 20 games, 10 from the NES and 10 from the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, you're going to ask us what they are.
Yes, I got to see how many of you can remember. So I'm going to pit you against each other here. I'm going to give you each 5 guesses for each system here. So obviously there's 10 NES games. So I'm going to ask, say, Lee to give me the name of one. And then I'll pass over to Darren, who'll give me the name of the next one. So you'll have 5 each. So potentially together you might get all of them.
Don't cheat, Lee.
My 3DS is in my son's room. I'd have to drag my microphone through. No chance. All from memory.
So I'm gonna have to ask you to be kind of specific as well, because just for an example, if you're talking about a Game Boy game, for example, if you told me if you said Super Mario Land and it's Super Mario Land 2, you wouldn't get a point.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So yeah, we're gonna start with the NES games here. Then, who actually wants to go first for the NES ones?
Can I go first? Because I remember one.
As long as I can go first on the GBA ones. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
Cool.
Darren, what's your first one?
No, I remember a few actually. Super Mario Brothers.
Yep, that's one for Darren.
Ooh. I remember trying and playing Metroid.
Yep, that's another one. That's one each. Darren.
The Legend of Zelda.
Yep, that's another one. Yep.
I'm struggling already here. Oh God, I can't remember. Surely Balloon Trip was one of them.
I did say it would be specific. It's called Balloon Fight, but I'll give you that.
Fight.
I'll give you that one.
Trip was a follow-up.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Was it actually? Is it a different game?
Yeah, sure. Is Darren Balloon Trip
Take
a
it off
different
him.
game?
Take it off him. I've got no idea.
Okay.
I thought it was the same game, but maybe not.
Yeah. Take it off me. I got the name wrong.
No, you're having it.
Yay, favoritism.
Darren, what's yours?
I can't remember its name, but there was one game from the NES which isn't not that readily available, but I can't remember its name. Oh God, because it was golf, but it's not golf. It's not NES Golf, which was It's the good one. It's like the one that came later, the NES Tournament Golf or something. Or
Yeah, I'm gonna
I can't
give
remember
you
its
that.
name.
NES
Yeah.
Open Tournament Golf.
Open Tournament
Yeah.
Golf.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
well done.
That's a great game.
Lee.
Oh my god! Now I'm struggling. And we're only
There's
1, 2, 3,
5
4, 5.
left.
We're only 5 in. I'm sure I played it, and I can't remember if I bought it or if it was on the free ones. Punch Out.
Punch Out
No
is
way.
not on there.
Oh, I must have bought that one. There you go.
So it's currently 3-2 to Darren, and 2 guesses left each.
Oh my god. What have we said? Can you go through the 5 that we've said?
We've had Super Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, NES Open Tournament Golf, The Legend of Zelda, and Metroid.
Zelda 2?
Zelda 2 is on there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Lee, you need to get both of your last ones
I
right.
know,
Any
and I
chance
don't
here?
think I'm going to get one here because I know Mario Brothers 3 isn't on there. It can't be the second one. Oh my goodness. It's got to be a Nintendo title, hasn't it?
Yep, they're all
Right,
Nintendo here. Yep,
I'm going to go, I know it's wrong, but I'm going to go for Mario Brothers 2.
that is incorrect.
Ah,
That's
Was that
nowhere.
not one of them?
Nope. Darren, what's your final one?
I've only got one more.
This
Yeah.
is the last one. Yep.
Oh my god, I'm just thinking. Can I just... Lee's done all his, hasn't he?
No, he's got one left. As
Oh,
well.
okay. I was going to reel a few off and just like... I'm just trying to think. I'm like, was that one? I'm trying to think of like what's on the NES Classic. I'm trying to think of like...
Ooh,
what's
I think I
classic
got
Nintendo
one.
Games.
You might need it.
Was there a couple of really bad ones, or were they all pretty good?
There's a couple of they're NES titles. They're all dodgy enough. Like, well, yeah, the ones that are remaining here, I haven't really played any of them actually.
Ice
then maybe
Climbers?
I'm wrong. Oh,
Ice Climber is there.
yeah, that was what I was thinking
yes!
of. Ice Climbers.
I was going to say another one. I want to know if that's on. I'll tell you afterwards.
Well, I was thinking of Ice Climbers, and then the other one I was thinking of, and I thought, no, that came out on the 3D Select, so surely it didn't come out as a free one. Excite Bike.
Excite Bike isn't there either.
No, I didn't think
Lee.
it would be.
I was going to say Kid Icarus.
No, it's actually not on there either.
Oh, I'm good. I was going to say that one. I'm glad I didn't.
Kid Icarus was one of the 3D ones, wasn't it, again?
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I've got that 3D one. That's probably why it's in my head. What are the other ones then?
So that's it for the NES ones. It's currently 5-2 to Darren.
5?
Wrecking Crew, is that one?
Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking
Yep,
Crew.
Wrecking Crew was one of them.
It was. Oh, that game is
Wrecking
terrible.
Crew, and the other two were Mario and Yoshi.
Oh, yeah.
Mario and Yoshi.
The,
Yeah, you know the wee
the
puzzle game.
Like,
Oh, is that one who's got plates and you spin the plates?
Yep, and
Is
the
that
other
what that
one
was
is
called?
Donkey Kong Jr.
Really?
That's a good game.
Can't remember.
That's a
Can't
good one.
remember. Don't think I played it for free and
It's a
didn't
good one.
touch it.
Ah. 5-2. Oh, Lee.
Oh, what a kick in. Hey, I get first
So-
go now, though.
Yep.
I reckon I remember most of these, to be
Have
honest.
to do really well to turn this around. So, Lee, what's your first Game Boy Advance title?
It is Wario Land 4.
Yep, correct. Darren.
Oh my god. I know. I can't remember its name. It's not going to be called Kirby Advance. So oh my god, I can't remember. I got no idea. I can't remember. Stuff it.
There's
Minish Cap.
other ones as well.
I know. I know a lot of these actually. I think
Did you go
I
for
reckon
Mini-
I'll be able to get.
Did you say
Minish
Minish Cap
Cap.
there?
Yeah.
Yep, that is one of them. Yep, 6-3.
Sure, and I'm struggling already, and if Darren's going, oh, I know what... Oh, what?
I reckon I know all 10. I reckon.
Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
Yep, that's one.
Now I'm struggling.
The very worst Mario Kart Super Circuit,
Oh, yeah.
just
yeah,
behind
you're right
Double Dash.
Completely agree.
Although it had every SNES track in it.
It did, but it didn't feel as good.
there. No, it was
Didn't
too
feel right.
slidey. It was all over the shop, that one.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Wait.
Wait, I just thought of one. It just popped out. Oh, God alive. It was in my head, and then it's gone. Oh, Golden Sun.
I wish. No, Golden Sun's not there.
Ah,
Great game, but not
Fantastic game. Needs to be there.
How precise do we need these names?
Perfect.
there. Just in the ballpark, I would say.
Because Yoshi's Island,
Yeah, Yoshi's
but
Island's
I've got
fine.
no idea what number advance, because they all
Oh, it
had
doesn't-
silly names.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island's fine.
It was a Super
okay,
Mario
yeah.
Advance
It
4.
was 3.
Oh, 3. Ooh.
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought I'd have a half a point.
So 2 guesses left. I don't think you can catch up now, Lee.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 so many. 5 so far, I mean.
Yep.
Oh, I just thought of one earlier, and it's completely gone out of my mind. F-Zero Advance. I don't know what it's called. F-Zero Advance.
There are a couple of advanced F-Zero titles, so I'm gonna need one. I'm gonna need the name.
Oh, he needs the point.
Zero Velocity or something like that, isn't it?
Oh, I'll give you that. F-Zero maximum velocity.
Oh, maximum velocity. Ooh.
I'll give you that one. Darren?
I'm still trying to think of that stupid Kirby title. Kirby and the...
Oh, I know.
You're halfway there.
Put it on recently because Hugo's obsessed with Kirby. I'm gonna go. Oh my god, it's getting hard. Fire Emblem.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Which one? Which one?
Oh, what is it? Sacred Stones.
Yay.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah!
I know we've run out of attempts, but I know the Kirby's name.
No, you've got one left.
Got one more. Okay.
Oh, I've got one obvious
Darren's
one.
got a chance for getting every single one.
Wow. It's Kirby and the Amazing Mirror.
Yes, correct.
There's
two games left.
WarioWare.
Yes, that is one.
What was the subtitle on that? Was it just WarioWare? WarioWare.
It's
Mega
I think the
Mini
subtitles Minigame Mania.
Oh, Mega Mini. Yeah, Mega Mini games.
Something like that.
No, it's micro games.
Micro.
I think the GameCube one was like a Mega Micro Games or something.
Okay.
So anybody want to take a stab at the last game here?
There's only one.
I got 10, didn't I?
Yeah, it was 10-6 was the final score.
Oh, whooping.
You did all. You got 4 in that one though.
Yeah, much better. And I didn't even own a GBA.
The last one here actually surprised me about how much I enjoyed it, because I'd sort of looked at it a few times and thought that's not really a sort of game for me. But in some ways it kind of reminds me of Captain Toad actually. Whenever I played it, I'd done everything 100% in it.
I know what it is. I know. It's Mario and Donkey
Kong.
Yeah, Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Versus
I was
Donkey
amazed
Kong.
how much I enjoyed it actually.
Yeah, it's a very good game. Very good.
But there we go. Congratulations, Darren.
You are the Nintendo master.
What a random thing. I had no idea what you were going to do. I was like, what's he going to do? Pretty random. Well, thank you very much for that, Greg. That was fun. And that is it for the week. So thanks as always, guys. And thanks everyone for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Nintendo Review Podcast. You can find this very podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, and YouTube. Just search for the Nintendo Review Podcast. Don't forget to give us a review and ask us a question. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where you'll find great content such as news, reviews, and streams. Of course, you'll find us at nintendoreview.co.uk. And check out our Nintendo Review Discord channel for lively discussion, meetups, and in-game voice chat. Drop by and say hello.